Hello and welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John, where in each episode we'll stroll down the Macintosh memory lane. We'll discuss older Macintosh computers, collecting all things related to the Mac and Apple computer, and current topics from the perspective that only a couple of old Mac fans can provide.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello. More than a couple of old Mac fans this morning. 3, to be precise. Hey, Ron, how you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Glad you could join us.
Yeah.
Later in the episode, you're going to share with us your new creation.
Sure. Yeah,
It's
I'll tell you all about it.
But before, we should just actually start recording the real show.
Yeah.
Before we get too far along. So why don't we do that? Let's do that in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the RetroMacCast with James and John. This is episode 611 for April 17th, 2022. Good morning, John, and good morning,
Good morning,
Ron.
James. Good morning, Ron.
Hey. Yeah, good morning, James. Good morning, John.
I think I got the episode.
I was going to say, I'm glad you guys could meet me down here at the coffee bar. This seems it's really weird that we're doing this one on location, but as a member of now the Third Timers Club for RetroMacCast, I appreciate you guys driving all the way over here.
Just 2 more and you get your jacket.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the prestigious, yes.
Yeah, I also talked to HR. They were saying something about health insurance, but I mean, I'll talk to you guys about that later.
All right. Well, Ron's here for the main reason, in addition to just having fun with us, is to share with us his creation. It's got a long. I don't know. There's a shorter name. It seems lots of words to say.
It turns out you don't pay by the letter. This isn't like a 1870s newspaper, so you just do whatever you want to do these days.
The Universal Plus SE Classic TTL Video Adapter.
Yes.
It rolls off the tongue.
It does. It's got like a real kind of like Hydrox kind of naming scheme to it. There might be an Oreo version of this out here, but I think the Hydrox is the superior product. So.
Okay. Well, a bit later in the show, we'll get into the nitty-gritty details about that, and you can give us an update, tell us what it's going to do. Then we got the usual stuff. We've got a pretty good crowd here in the chat, so thanks everybody for joining us. And I don't know, what else is new? John, what's new with you? You got anything cool in the background there?
Nothing.
Just
No. Just the same G4 from last week. Yes, I did not swap it out.
And I'm looking around Ron's room there. It looks like he's got like a bunch of projects.
Love that Apple IIe in the background.
That's very polite of you to say a bunch of projects when it really just looks like a hoarder's house, like somebody that would end up on a TLC show. It's, this is the room where
Ron,
I do
does this 2E bring you joy?
It does. I think Marie Kondo or something like that. It's like, how could she even own a keyboard? It's got like 104 keys on it. It's like I don't even own the computer. I just got the keyboard. It's,
right. Which letters would you have to toss out?
Right. I'm just gonna keep all the.
Do you really need the U? Really? I mean.
Yeah.
How often do you use it? When was the last time you actually typed in X?
That's true. Oh man,
Z.
Gosh, these are opening up my whole life here. I never considered all this. Well, there'll be a yard sale later today. I'm gonna purge the entire collection, and we'll see what the local kids think of all these old computers.
Yeah. All right. Well, why don't we come back with some eBay finds? How about that? All right, let's queue them up. Let's see here.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I saw that one. That looked pretty fun.
Yeah. All right, let's go in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the eBay finds. Last week we had the authorized service center sign with some age on it, age appropriate, right? Makes it look like it's well worn, and they wanted a buy it now $599.99. Seems a little steep for that.
Guys, you're missing the thing here though. That age on it, that's the patina of 1,000 reefa cap smokes, kind of blowing up the side of it. That is adding value. Because if you took that off, they'd be like, oh, this is something you got off Alibaba, right?
Yeah.
Plus, if you buy this, you are now an authorized service center. Think of all the money you can
That's
make.
all it takes. That is all it takes, right?
You just got to hang a shingle out. And, you know, the geriatric crowd, they don't know the difference. You could be the next Louis Rossman.
Well, nobody took up the offer on that one. They're still making an offer, and it's still available. Let's move on to the Mac phone. Now that one did sell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. $315 after 50 bids. So that would be a cool project to get one of those working.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. And
so
then,
what's the deal with that? It's like a dialer? Like it
It,
plugs in your stereo port and it dials for you?
It actually connected to the microphone port.
Well, the speaker didn't have the Mac didn't have a mic.
I'm sorry. Yes, speaker port. Right. Yeah.
So
it could dial for you through the speaker port.
Oh, wow.
Well, the software would dial your phone.
Software. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
like
software hardware
bar.
package. Very neat.
Yeah, that is really cool.
And they designed it to kind of look kind of with the Mac aesthetic.
Yeah, you get all the nice bezels on there. Bevels,
and it's got that little area back there where it looks like they're faking the Apple logo.
The Apple logo, right?
Kind of of that era.
Yeah. The little square down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they have the weird stylized Apple logo there in the ad too for Macintosh lovers only. I'm sure Apple loved that.
Yeah.
It's like it's a heart Apple combination.
It looks kind of like a beat.
Because I was just thinking that. Yes, it's like.
I was going to say
whoever took a bite out of that was probably very disappointed.
Very, very. Yes.
I mean, the sugar content's there, but
dirt sugar.
And then that M5000 Macintosh prototype server with the grainy pictures. So they added more grainy pictures this time. That still didn't sell.
Now new and improved grainy pictures. Yes.
Yeah, that one. What was it? How much did they want for that? Like 5,000, 10,000? I don't remember. But yeah, it didn't sell. Still out there. All right.
I think that they set their pricing to where they could move somewhere that doesn't have wood paneling and sculpted carpet.
Yeah,
that they were thinking big on that.
Now this auction is it's not terribly exciting, but I just love looking at the picture here. The title is 1993 Sears print ad, Apple Macintosh Performa 475, computer, Sony, Craftsman tools. Okay. What you're looking at here is just I guess it's an insert. I don't know. Maybe it was a flyer for Sears. And this would have been in 1993. It's specifically October 21st through 30th. And
I thought I lost you for a minute.
Back then, I had a break in the audio too. Back then, for a period of time, right, the Performa line was geared even more towards the consumer and in non-traditional computer outlets to include department stores like Sears. Yeah. This is kind of the beginning of the end.
Thanks, Spindler.
And you look
Gil Emilio. Was the Performa stuff a Gil Emilio thing or a Spindler thing?
Gosh, I don't know. Who's our Emilio expert.
In any case, I'm sitting under my desk having a panic attack just thinking about all this.
And there it is. There's the Performa. It says 475. This smart computer includes a 14-inch color monitor.
The cheapest color monitor Apple
the
ever
cheapest.
made.
They didn't even put an Apple logo on it, guys. Do you notice that? I've got one of those in the garage right now, and there's no Apple logo on that monitor. That's how cheap that monitor is.
It's so interlaced. It's double interlaced. It skips 2 lines and then draws a line.
Data falls between the pixels. It's
Yeah.
Look at that. And of course they've got a lot of wonderful gear here on the same 2-page fold out, including a quality Panasonic cordless phone with
Zenith. I like the
I've been
Zenith
looking to pick up
13-inch
an
TV.
answering machine, so that looks good.
Yeah.
I like how you're scrolling this. It's like we're trying to buy stuff between rounds on Wheel of Fortune. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Sony 100-watt rack system, and then I want the VCR, and then I'm gonna take the rest on a service merchandise gift card.
Look at all that great stuff.
Love it.
Yeah.
I used to work for Montgomery Ward back in the day, and we sold a ton of those machines. I mean, just a ton.
Ton of which machines?
The
Pizza Box Performers?
No, the answering machine. Yes, the Performa 475. We sold just a ton of those.
Montgomery Ward didn't get the Apple computers, did it? I don't think.
Yeah,
so.
they did because I worked there and we sold them. Yeah, because we.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
When I first started there, they had the Performa 200, and they had like the Faker that was like a 2VI or not 2VI but 2VX. Yeah. And then they had the LC 475, so that was sort of like your high end. High end.
And I bet you had somebody. Well, maybe if you were there, but I don't usually have very knowledgeable people to speak about.
Well, that was the thing. They didn't know anybody, or they didn't have anybody that knew anything about Macs. So I was the guy that would stand over there and talk to people about Macs, and you would get paid more to sell Macs than you would to sell a Packard Bell or something like that. Yeah. So everybody wanted to be your friend. They'd be like, "Hey, I got a Mark coming by. It's sales and it's rough. I got a Mark coming by later today. Can you help me sell one of these?" And it would be some of these machines that pay like $100 compared. I mean, that's
wow. Holy cow!
Yeah, you're selling like 30 VCRs to make that kind of money. But you can sell one of these in like 20 minutes, and yeah.
All right. Well, this print ad, if you do want it, $7.99 is the buy it now. Okay, let's see what's next. Well, you guys should probably be familiar with this.
Oh yeah.
This is a video card. It's the Radius FPD SE30 for the Macintosh SE30. And
I was excited when I first saw this because I thought it was one of the like the Exceed ones that would give your SE30 grayscale, but this is not. I think this is just for an external monitor.
Yeah.
So you get the card, you get the software diskette,
which is great. I mean, how often do you see these cards for sale and there's no software, and it's really hard to track down drivers sometimes.
Yeah.
Not the description says not quite sure on the value, running an auction, no claims about its operation status.
Also, look at the bottom picture. Look at the connector. Or for on your layout, the rightmost picture.
This one? That one?
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking. Oh, sorry. Yeah, the one with the connector, right? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah, right in the middle.
Yeah.
What is that, guys? What kind of
MGA?
VGA.
MGA TTL. It's basically you could hook up like a whole world of like PCE style monitors to that of the era. So not CGA, but MGA or TTL video. Yeah.
Huh.
Interesting.
So yeah, you're not going to be able to just get this and use it right away. Obviously, you're going to have to. There's got to be some sort of adapter you're going to need, isn't it?
Yeah, you probably if you had one of those old displays, or you knew somebody that had a word processor sort of from the end of the line on those, you could probably use something like that, or the RGB to HDMI. You could just adapt that out and have a clone of your internal monitor.
Nice. So because my other question was this supposed to be specifically for a Radius monitor since it's made by Radius?
I'm sure they'd love to sell you one.
All right, neat.
What's the little? Why is there a little COM1 connector right there? What's that all about?
COM1.
See that connector right there?
Yeah.
What is that?
Connector 1.
Oh, connect CON. Connector 1. Yeah, maybe a way of I don't know.
So somebody's like, I went in there and I was trying to hook it up, and it didn't. I mean, there's only one place to plug it in, and it's keyed, but. Yeah, I'm still want to call the tech support just to make sure.
I see.
No, that's just where the ribbon for the
Yeah.
for the external.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, they just show it disconnected there. Okay.
I like how long. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just long enough.
Right.
So
Yeah, not a lot of
$50, not bad as far as like no bid so far, and there isn't make an offer. So this has got 4 days left.
All right. Let's take a look at this next one. This.
Ooh, Money Magazine edition.
Yeah. Have you heard of this? I had
Yeah.
never heard of this. Oh, you did know about this.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, the description says here, for sale is a very rare Apple Macintosh Performa 560. Yes, that is right. 560, not the 550, not the 575. Fewer of these sold than the Macintosh TV, making this one of the rarest Macs. Performa 560 is also called the Money Magazine Edition, created in partnership with Money Magazine and came bundled with special software. The seller says hasn't seen it in over 10 years, and this one's in quite nice shape with only minimal
It is
yellowing.
very clean. Wow.
No cracks, no scuffs. Fired right up after 10 years on climate-controlled storage. However, they think you should probably service the hard drive.
Yeah.
Maybe get it recapped.
Yeah, recapped. Pull the battery that is leaked all over the board.
Mhm.
Yeah, because this
Well,
is
you
this
can
is
always
like
call
a
Apple
Performa.
Care. Do you see the sticker on the back? The Apple Care
Yeah.
sticker.
Nice.
But yeah, there's the little Money Magazine little sticker there. Interesting.
So it's
Did you know about
basically
these? Yeah, you knew
Yeah.
about these when they came out.
well, not contemporary to that, because I mean, Apple partnered with all kinds of people on those machines. So this is basically like a Performa 550 with so like a 33 megahertz 030, but it just had that software bundle with it. So and a sticker on the front. So they swapped the badge and then they slapped the Money Magazine sticker on there.
Interesting. Wow. Speaking of stickers, I'm sure every time Steve Jobs saw a picture of any of these Macs from that era, he just died inside. Look at all the, QuickTime sticker, several concerning the compact disc. They would definitely want to make sure you realize, oh my gosh, this thing has a compact disc that requires a caddy.
Well, I wonder how fast that drive is too. If only they had put some kind of indication.
If they had some indication of exactly what the speed is.
It's twice as fast as something. We know that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, just when I thought I knew about all the models and the different variations and whatever, then here comes the Performa 560 Money Magazine Edition. They want a buy it now, $700.
Yeah.
Is it worth $700? I don't know.
No.
Well, when you buy it, will it make it to you on one piece? Is going to be my question, because no, the answer is no.
Yeah, you'd probably want to arrange to. Well, they are charging a whopping, at least to ship it to Florida, $250 to ship it from Indiana. So
wow,
looks like they have planned on spending money on the shipping anyway.
Okay, let's hope.
That's I rented a car and brought it to your house prices.
Everybody see who's selling this though?
What's that?
Everybody see who's selling this?
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah.
Mac Effects.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
he knows how to ship a computer. Yeah. I do feel better about that.
Yeah. And now I feel bad for saying that it's not worth that. Certainly it's worth that.
It's worth it to somebody.
It is, yeah. If you're going to be a completionist, I mean, oh my gosh, which I kind of am. So,
good luck being a completionist in the Performa series, because it's like, well, now
that's true.
Performa 561, then you got to get the 561 education.
Right. This one was released on a Tuesday, which means its number is
This is the 560/CD and whatever. Yeah. Well, there it is. Take a look at it. The Performa 560. All right. Okay, I guess we're gonna switch over. And we're gonna talk about your little project.
Oh yeah.
And how's everybody doing in the chat? I haven't looked and see what people are talking about. Brittle plastic Mac. Yes.
Dave's mentioned Montgomery Ward selling him. Yep.
So how do you think he's going to make this one clear before he mails it? Is he just going to rub like a chicken leg on it for 20 minutes? Because I mean the plastic's pretty old. It's got to be like like
Mhm.
a paper towel.
Oh yeah. So
Just
when I
rub it
was
on
looking
there
at
until it
the
turns transparent.
when I was looking at the volume up and volume down keys and the other ones, like whoever gets this, please nobody ever press those keys ever, because yeah, you're gonna end up looking like you have like a Mac with missing teeth, because those things will just pop off and fall inside.
All right. Let's go in 3, 2, 1. Well, the big reason Ron is here. That's Ron from Ron's Computer Videos, as is shown right on the product itself. I love the badging there. But Ron's here to talk about the Universal Plus SE Classic TTL Video Adapter. So, what is this thing? What does it do for us, or what will it do for us?
Well, it will do a number of things for you. It's I built it trying to think about a bunch of different use cases. And those use cases are based on something that I wanted to make 30 years ago, but didn't have the skills, didn't have the time, couldn't really build it at that era. But way back, it was kind of popular to do a couple of different things. The first of which was to build a TTL video adapter so that you could use larger PC monitors like amber displays, paperwhite, whatever. So that way that if you were trying to do desktop publishing on your like 9-inch black and white Mac, you could at least buy like a 12-inch display or a 14-inch display if you were a Rockefeller, and and kind of see your stuff on a bigger display and maybe have a little less eye strain. So in the book, there's like a series of books that Larry Pina put out where he describes this circuit in there, where it's basically a 74 LS14 and just doing it on a breadboard basically to split out the video off of the motherboard on those machines. And you could wire up whatever sort of connector that you needed for your display and get a cloned monitor basically out of your old Mac. So I have drawn this up a number of times over the years and never really went anywhere with it. But I started talking with Eric Helgeson from the Blue SCSI project, and he offered me a little bit of advice and assistance on doing it. I still mess some things up. If you look at the footprint there for the capacitor, that would actually be for it's the wrong silk screen. That would be for an electrolytic capacitor, when in reality you really just need one of these little tiny ceramic caps. But really what it is it's trying to be a couple of different use cases. Oh, sorry, here, I'll hold it back up. So yeah, it's trying to offer, you see that tiny little ceramic cap there. But what it's trying to do is it's trying to offer a couple of different use cases to people. So if you look at it, you'll see that you've got some fairly large through holes on the left and the right. And Joe from Joe's Computer Museum was like, hey, why are those so big? And I was like, well, first of all, Joe, your mother. Secondly, I was trying to make these where if somebody wanted to dual wire something or whatever, that it's there. You weren't trying to drill anything out after the fact. And just try to be as universal in application as possible. So what one use case might be is if you just wanted to get video out so that you could hook up, like you had an older IBGA or a TTL display. What you could do is on the analog board side of your Plus, your SE, your Classic 2, whatever it might be, you can basically just tap into the back side of the interconnect cable from the analog board down to the motherboard and just take the signals out that you need. And then on the card itself, you see those square pads there on the left. You could wire up like a DB9 connection, very much like that Radius card that we just saw.
Ah, okay.
And then from there, you could hook up a display or like an area appropriate display from way back when, or you could hook up something like the HDMI to or RGB to HDMI or something like that as well. But basically, it's just it's an XOR gate that sits in the middle that makes sure that the signals check in, they don't check back out, so you don't feed something back into the system. And it's just basically kind of an adapter board to allow you to do a couple of different of those things.
That's great.
Another use case might be, because I know a lot of people that work on their SEs or their pluses and stuff all the time. They build like a extension cable. In the case of the SE, the SE30 Classic 2, that's just a Molex connection that connects the analog board down to the motherboard. You can get an ATX extender cable from just any of these like PC sort of accessory shops and just chop it down to exactly what you need. So it is very possible that you could make a through cable that would just be like in circuit with the interconnect cable, and then you could just solder on exactly what you needed for output to like an RGB to HDMI or to hook up a TTL monitor, whatever you need. Or another really super popular thing, well, not super popular, but it was super popular with me because I always thought that this was a cool idea. Way back in the day, there was a book that was called like Build Your Own Macintosh and Save a Bundle, something along those lines. There's like 2 revisions of that book. They also describe a similar circuit, but don't provide any sort of diagram or anything. But the idea is that you would build what they called a cat Mac, where you would source a Macintosh motherboard and then basically use off-the-shelf parts for everything else. But one of the things that you didn't do is you didn't build it into an all-in-one case with a little 9-inch display. You would use a circuit like this to then use a larger PC TTL monitor, so that way that you could have like, oh my gosh, like it's not higher resolution, but it's at least less eye strain if you're doing certain tasks. So those were kind of popular back in the day with hobbyists. And so that would be another application for this board as well.
So
Nice.
is there a reason why it starts at plus and doesn't include the earlier Macs?
Because it's a 1870s newspaper and they charge by the letter.
So it would work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
You didn't want to make the name longer? Is that what you're saying?
Right, because I didn't want to put like SE30 Classic 2 and stuff. I'm not trying to make the name of a Fiona Apple album here. That might be a dated joke. But when the pawn falls, whatever the name of that album was. But the idea is that since the 128K, 512K, 512KE, and Plus all use the same style video connection, or interconnect cable between the motherboard and the analog board, that's kind of one whole group of things. And then the SE and the SE30, they use that Molex connection, and that's kind of one group of things. And then the Classic 2, they use the same Molex connection, but there is a difference kind of on the analog board side about, from memory, which pin actually feeds. I think it's horizontal sync. Like, I think they switch video and horizontal sync or something. I'll be wrong. Someone will let me know in the comments. It's the internet. But the whole idea was, rather than try to make something that had like Molex connections on it, or try to have something that had that card edge or that, not really card edge, but that what the video interconnect cable looks like on a Plus. Rather than try to build that into the board, I just try to keep it generic, so that way that anybody could just, because this is going to be a hobbyist thing anyway. Sure. So people can wire it up exactly how they need it, and you don't have to have like 9 sets of Gerbers. But the plan is, I think the total cost on the build on this, I think the PCB was about $1, and then all of the discrete components are like a socket and the IC and the cap. I think the whole total cost to build is under $2. And if you go on eBay and you try to buy one of these from back in the day, I think there was one on the other day for like $75. So the idea is, now those will have like the Molex connections. They'll be specific for one machine, but I just figured people can wire up and do whatever they'd like to do.
That's great.
The idea is that I'm going to go ahead and release the Gerbers just to the community, and then if people want to change things around or make something that fits their needs better, just fix it up and give back to the community and call it a day.
So are these already available, or are they going to be available soon?
They are available. Just stop by my basement anytime and pick yours up. The idea is, actually, I'm gonna solder a bunch of these up this week, and I'm gonna get them sent out to. I think I only did a run of 20, because I'm sure for most people in our community, this is basically just sort of like a curiosity. They probably would not do anything with it. But I did 20 of them. I'm gonna get them out, and then I'm gonna get the Gerbers up. And then as soon as people kind of look things over and make sure that I'm not I'm probably a crazy person, but to make sure that this looks good in their eyes when they've got one in their hand. If everything looks so good, I'll probably do another run of them, solder them up, and then if people are interested, just sell them at cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, because I mean, especially with our community, I could definitely see the advantages of being able to stream from, what was it, a couple months ago when somebody kind of like reinvented this, hey, here's how to get HDMI out of your Mac Plus. For it's so much nicer to be able to use real hardware for demoing something than a mini VMac.
Yeah.
Just because if you can do it, why wouldn't you, right?
Right, absolutely.
So this makes it so much easier for the semi more average Joe to accomplish this. So I really appreciate you doing this. This is nice.
Yeah, so many people like Joe and I mean, they do so much for the community, and I sit back and I am the recipient of all of their largesse. And I was just like, I've had this thing on the back of my mind forever. I just want to get this. I just want to get this out there so that way that other people can maybe be, people that read those books maybe back in the day and wanted to do it could build one of these too. Another thing I put in as well is there are some through holes or just some mounting holes and stuff as well. So I, again, just tried to make it as generic as possible so folks can, kind of make it bend to whatever their purpose is.
Yeah.
Awesome. Nice. All right. Well, do you have a video up yet on install of this? What are you doing on that?
I'm eventually.
Eventually, okay.
It sometimes feels like I have like a 9-month lead time on videos. Because I will come home and I'll just be like, you know what? I'm just so tired. I'm just going to sit down. Just 10 minutes, sit down, and you wake up. It's like 2 days later. So I eventually will have a video up. I'll probably do a video doing a build on a couple of these just for fun. So
all right. Well, go to Ron's Computer Videos to keep track of this project and see how it all comes together. Thanks, Ron.
Oh, one more. Are you just going to sell a kit version?
Oh yeah, I certainly could sell a kit version.
Because I mean, as far as like somebody who hasn't done a whole lot of soldering, this looks pretty good starter. I mean, it's basically 2 components, isn't it, for the actual build itself?
It really is.
It'd be great starter
The only
kit.
thing that's a tiny bit fiddly is just the socket, just because the legs are very springy. But you just tack one corner, you tack the other corner, and then just beep, 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 beep. No, but it goes really fast. There's not a whole lot to really screw up, and it'd probably be a really great project, a perfect gift for Mother's Day.
Ah, yes. Okay, great. Your mother's not like mine, I think.
Well, no, here's the deal. They're mothers, though. They just love whatever you do.
Right.
You'll be like, Mom, look at this thing I got you. Oh, it's so precious.
Let's put it on the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's right. Put a magnet on the back.
Right.
All right, we're going to skip on over to the news. And got a couple of stories here. Let's flash it up there and go in 3, 2, 1. Time now for the news. Jason Snell, longtime editor of Macworld magazine, posted, "The future of the Mac is bright, but don't forget the pains of the past. Old computers make you appreciate what we have today." Certainly do. But we still appreciate old computers, don't we? Yeah. And so he wrote a nice little article that walked back his history of Macintosh. He still has quite a few himself. I remember when he started Mac User in 1993 with a 2CI, and he's collected his fair share of Macs, and then kind of walks through the history of the problematic like interface standards and things he had to deal with. But he's fallen in love with his floppy emu. which
Is this the article that also name drops Blue Scuzzy as well?
does it? I think it does. Maybe.
I thought it
'cause
did.
I I think this is
Yeah.
the one at the bottom. It basically is. Yeah, this is the one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you can use Blue Scuzzy, but you can't use it with such and such. And I think Eric reached out and was, it's like, oh no,
Oh,
you can use
you
it with
can.
whatever. So I think there's a correction on this article that just says,
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a good little read over at macworld.com. And AMAX, the AMAX 2, a Macintosh emulator for your Amiga, which is a bit of a misnomer there. But
Right, yeah,
there's
because it's
great
actually
video.
a hardware, not a just a pure software thing.
stimulator.
So I have somebody who's, once they dig it out, is actually going to be gifting me an Amiga 2000 complete setup, and I had heard about these, and of course I cannot actually find one of these for sale anywhere because I'm sure there weren't a ton of them made. This is one of the ones that takes an actual ROM image from a Mac, from an old black and white Mac, and gives you all the it gives you a floppy port, it gives you standard Apple serial ports.
Yeah. That little box,
device.
you take the ROM chips off of your Mac board and you install them in that box.
Yeah. So obviously I'm not going to have one of those. I will be able to use, and they talk about a little bit about Shapeshifter, which is the Mac emulator that did a really good job. And that if anyone's heard of Sheep Shaver, they actually got their name from playing off of Shapeshifter, which was the Apple emulator. So kind of neat. But yeah, this video goes into great depth of how it worked, how it was installed, how the advantages of it over the just a software version. It's a really great in-depth video. I highly recommend checking it out. Very fascinating stuff, even if you're not an Amiga person.
You go to YouTube, look for the channel Amiga Love, and it's really well done. And if you're over in Lyon in France, you should check out the Lyon's Museum of Printing and Graphic Communication, because they've got a Susan Kerr exhibition going on there.
Nice.
Displaying a lot of her artwork, including the lovely Macintosh icons. And if I subscribe to this page, it would let me look at this in full view. But that's running through, I think it's through September. Where you get to see all a lot of her illustrations.
Nice.
Plenty of time to get over there.
Plenty of time. Book your flights now. Move. I imagine her stuff's on display someplace in some museums in this country, but
one would hope. Sure.
One would hope. But there's the one.
Look, there's Stobbs.
Of course, you can go to her website. I think it's susankerr.com.
That reminds me, though. There's one more thing I wanted to mention back over to the Amiga one is on the inside of the box for that thing, they actually have their signatures inscribed.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too.
They
copied that from
seeing the Steve Jobs icon reminded me of that. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that little detail. Beautifully done.
Don, those are the really rare ones. Those are going to go for way higher money on eBay if it's got the signatures and stuff.
Yes, of course. Wow, that was a quick news segment.
Nice, yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's funny because they watched that video for the AMAX, and I think the guy said that messing around with that got him to get a 2SI as a result, and that's exactly what my roommate in college did. He had an Amiga and went to a 2SI as well. Not because of the AMAX or anything like that. That was just sort of that time period where there was that glimpse, that period of time where the Amigas were still hanging in there, and they were awesome, But then when color got cheap is kind of what, well, I wouldn't say cheap. I would say less expensive, right, with the 2SI and those kind of computers. But because when he had his Amiga, I was still rocking my Mac Plus, and Tetris was way more fun on a color Amiga than it was on my Mac Plus. All right. I think we can. Well, we'll at least wrap up the audio podcast. Let's do that in 3, 2, 1. All right. Well, that brings us to the end of another episode of the Retro Maccast. Thanks to Ron and Ron's Computer Videos for sharing with us his new video board. I look forward to seeing your videos of exactly how you go about installing one.
Oh yeah.
And what that looks like. Let's see.
Next week?
What else do we need to do? Next week. Yes, next
week we will go ahead and do Wolf Age.
Okay.
I'll play around with that, and we'll just kind of talk about that. I was looking online, and it looks like the interface is a bit different. We'll see what it's like.
Okay, and we're gonna stream that multiplayer.
We will definitely show it. I'll hook my my G4 Tybook up to the streams, so we can actually look at some of the stuff in real time. Yeah.
Okay. And,
what game is this? What game are you playing?
Myth 3.
You ever played?
Myth. Yeah,
Myth.
The Bungie games. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah. And Ron, where will we see you next? I guess on your channel. What else is going on with you?
Well, if you don't see me at the post office, you'll probably see me. You probably see me tonight. Later tonight.
What's the reward up
you
to
have
now?
A giveaway.
Tell
us about the giveaway.
I think they're paying you to take me. So, but actually, I'll be on Retro Repair Roundup tonight. That's the sort of vlog cast that I'm on with Joe from Joe's Computer Museum, Rudy from Rudy's Retrotech, and Javier, the Retrobrite Master. Basically, it's like first and third Sundays every month, and it's just sort of a recap of what's new kind of in the world of retro computing. Also, oftentimes there's a repair topic that we'll talk about. And then I think this evening our guest is Justin D. Morgan, but the big thing is that we're, as part of, on the tail end of Marchintosh, which has been over for a good 2 weeks, we are giving away a Macintosh SE FDHD. So the SuperDrive version of the Macintosh SE. Joe tweaked up all the electronics. I installed a Blue SCSI and also sourced and retrobrited the period-appropriate keyboard and mouse. And then we sent everything down to Javier, and he retrobrited the whole thing. The machine itself was donated kindly by Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel. And so that's it. We're going to give that away tonight. If you go out to their
very nice.
If you go out to the YouTube channel, there's a video link out there where you can go and still enter. I think you can enter all the way up till when we do the drawing.
Sweet. All right. Wow, that sounds great. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll be back with you next week, and until then, remember, it's not old.
It's retro.
All right. Well, the audio program is over. Now this is the bonus round.
All right, everybody, down to your skins. I brought the ball. We're gonna
Shrab Home Video. What is Shrab Home Video?
Oh, Rob Schraub.
Schraub.
Kind of famously the creator of Scud, the disposable assassin, and then also directed a number of episodes of Sarah Silverman program, and very famous from Channel 101. Which, if you've never heard of Channel 101, it's a really cool thing. It's where Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon and a lot of people that you kind of now have big TV deals got their start.
Nice.
But Rob actually also was the director for season 12 of Mystery Science Theater 3000. So just very, very talented guy. And yeah. And I bought something off his eShop.
Nice.
I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking very forward to the new season of MST.
Oh yeah, the Gizmoplex season, which I guess is what they're kind of calling this new thing. I mean, they're dropping little videos every so often. Actually, Charks in chat says Channel 101. Yeah, and the videos are still available, and for a very very long time they were still meeting in person out there, and I think the pandemic kind of knocked some of that stuff down. I haven't checked in on them in a while, but the whole idea is that creators, like pre-YouTube. What you could do is you could go shoot your pilot, like a 5-minute pilot for just some zany idea or whatever it was. And then everybody would get together once a month and they'd show them. And then the audience could vote on whether your pilot got picked up. And then week after week after week, they would vote on whether it would continue. And so that's where like Rick and Morty got its start.
Nice.
But on there, it was called Doc and Marty, but it was spelled
because it was the parody
very
of
crazy, very crazy. Yeah, so that's where Rick and Morty got its start. There was also a thing that was on VH1, folks, for all the old people in the audience. There was a show that was on VH1 that was called Acceptable TV, and it actually had like Justin Roiland and Dan Harmon and all those guys when they were young, where you would vote pre-YouTube, that you would vote every week. To 50 Shades of Beige is playing me off here. You would vote every week on like what would continue week to week. So they actually did something on there that was called the Cosbys, which was sort of like a Bill back before everybody knew about Bill Cosby. That it was like a bunch of like baby versions of Bill Cosby, and they all had like different like it was, they were kind of like Smurfs in that there was like, I'm weightlifter Bill Cosby, and then there's like another one that, I'm right, yeah. So
very neat. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, I'm not familiar at all. But you remind me of something. Speaking of something from that era, you guys know about Kids in the Hall coming back?
Yeah, Kids in the Hall coming back.
Nice.
On Amazon.
Yeah.
Wow. Geriatric Kids in the Hall.
Well, they literally had to dig them up in the trailer.
The trailer, yeah. It's funny though. The what is they're getting sued though. Did you hear about that?
Oh,
they brought the show back, and immediately there was a class action lawsuit brought against them for false advertising. None of these guys are kids. None of these guys are kids anymore. Come on.
Well, I thought they were being sued because, I mean, just from the trailer alone, it looks like they have not read the news that we live in a new era.
Right.
In 2022.
Yeah.
And
my pen! You took my pen! Like that type of stuff. If you've not seen Kids in the Hall pin sketch, people that were born after 2000, you have to watch that, because it actually has Macintoshes in it. It features like old Macs, but it's a black and white sketch where it's like a guy, like a public servant guy, gets his pin stolen, and like the little adventure he goes on to get it back.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, there's so many. We were, my wife and I, Eradicator. I mean, we just it's so many references that come from that show. Great stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. All right. Well, don't want to keep you guys too long.
Oh my gosh, the chicken lady, straight out of my body onto your plate.
Yeah.
What a different era.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we'll see you later. Thanks, Ron.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I had a really good time. I'm always available.
Okay.
It's just have your people talk to my people.
We might call on you again. Maybe to fill in for one of us. When,
oh wow, that'd be great. I would love. It'll be big shoes to fill because John wears like a 13.5 and doesn't wear shoes, or doesn't wear socks. But I will do my best.
All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
It's kind of scary that you know my shoe size, Ron.
Well, it's you got to do your research before you come on a show like this.
Thanks for listening to the RetroMacCast with James and John. Email listener comments and questions to retromaccast@gmail.com or post comments on our website at www.retromaccast.com.